My name's Ann Cotter, and I am an architect. Been an architect for all kinds of different types of buildings. I started off with houses and smaller projects, but now I work for a larger firm on larger projects. One consistency, though, throughout my career, which is now a couple decades, has been sustainability. Granted, in the beginning, it wasn't necessarily named sustainability when I first started, but I really liked being rooted, being conscious of how houses are and buildings are related to the earth. And I grew up hiking, and my father was a big lover of nature. So it's always been something that's kind of ingrained in what I do personally and professionally. So I moved to Los Angeles 9 years ago. I looked at different neighborhoods, and I landed in Santa Monica, and I rented a place first a couple of blocks from where I now live. And I was walking by this building often, and I always thought, oh, it's too busy a location. And the building on the outside, it's a 1963, pretty much a rectangular block of a building. It didn't really interest me. I previously lived in Miami in a building similar to that, similar age, similar kind of straightforward. And I was like, nah. But I spent a lot of time with a Zoomie looking for apartments. It was actually a year. When this came on the market again, the second time, I just talk about location. And I remember in architecture school, they always taught you location, 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 super important. And the views. It's a corner unit, so I'm seeing the city on one side and the ocean and the mountains from the other side of the unit. I get to see the sunrise and the sunset, and the inside of the unit I didn't really like. It was 1963 building originally, had original kitchen, original bathrooms. Somebody had bought it in the 80s. I think the owner or the owner's estate that I bought from, there was glossy tile, large stone floor, and the huge wall-to-wall mirror, and all kinds of things I didn't like, and I didn't like the layout. So I pretty much bought it thinking, oh, I'll do some renovations. Wound up being gut renovation, but hey. So I bought it near the end of August in 2023. First thing was, does it have asbestos? So test for asbestos. Yes. The ceilings were all removed. Suspended drywall ceilings, they were all removed. And then some of the walls removed. And then I went on the process of getting a contractor. Found one I liked, and demolition happened. And then I needed to get the plans together. I submitted the drawings for building permit. First, I had to submit the drawings to the HOA, got their approval, and submitted to the Santa Monica Building Department, and finally got the building permit. And I was hoping to move in a year after I bought it, August 2025. It wound up being September that I moved in. I wanted it to respond to the wonderful nature outside, the beach, the ocean, the mountains. I've really enjoyed. I'm really glad I moved here to Santa Monica, to LA, Southern California. It's just a really great environment outside. And I wanted my home to be reflecting the healthy and also complementing the natural world outside. So part of that was the layout. I changed the layout. You enter and you go straight. You get a glimpse of the ocean through the bedroom windows, and then you take a right turn, and you're looking straight out the window that's actually behind me, and you see the light. And when you get to the living room, you also get the balcony, the sliding glass doors, and the balcony views to the mountains and then the ocean. I also really wanted it to be healthy materials. So Zumi and I actually met through my friend Sophie at a green building event, and we're all three very much really focused on green materials and healthy homes. And Sophie introduced me to cork flooring. I wanted to have one material that was the same throughout, and the cork flooring it was great. As soon as she showed me some samples, I really liked it. It has a quality that's kind of like a stone, and kind of a mottled texture. It's soft, it's sound absorbent. I mean, a lot of times cork is actually used underneath other wood and stone floor. The kitchen appliances, I spent a lot of time researching what's the refrigerator that has the most refrigerant is constantly being improved, and there were 3 refrigerators available in the States that had the best refrigerant available now. One of those. dishwasher, plastic, stainless steel, all of these different things for the container, never mind the outside face. So I've got a stainless steel dishwasher, and most importantly, the cooktop. Yeah, all the wall finishes are all zero VOC, and basically you're not getting the toxic smells. There's no it's
Off-gassing,
a off-gassing. Thank you. And Lowe's also, if I'd gone to Home Depot, Lowe's has Valspar, high-end Valspar, which is for residential. There's a Valspar, another Valspar that's for commercial, and it's zero VOC. It's great that you can now match any colors. I picked colors from Behr, I picked colors from Benjamin Moore, whatever, they can match it. And then also in the showers, I selected tile. I was actually kind of surprised. I had wanted large format, but I found a tile that was made from smaller pieces of tile. And the floor is tile as well. They're made from remnants. I was reusing material in order to make the flooring and the shower walls. The countertops, both in the bathrooms and in the kitchen, I got from a remnants from a local marble place. So yeah, as much as possible, I tried to reuse, recycle all of the waste from the construction and demolition. Followed Santa Monica's recycling process. So you had to go to certain listed construction waste places, and they sorted the drywall, went to the drywall, and the tile and the metal studs, all of that went to specific sections, and they can reuse all of that as well. One other aspect of this unit, I mentioned that the building is still gas heated and air conditioning. Because it's a corner unit, I get cross ventilation. And I walk in the morning, if it's too cold to leave the window open at night, I always leave the window ajar unless it's going to be raining. And I walk into my unit and it's naturally air conditioned when I come in. And I'm just very happy about the fact that, it helps that it's a corner unit, but that I'm located here where I can just capture the natural breezes to make it comfortable without actually using. I rarely have the AC turned on, AC heater. So the building has a unique system. It's one system that half the year is in heating mode and the other half of the year is in cooling mode. Each unit has their own individual fan coil unit. I put in a new one, specifically sized it because I knew I wasn't going to be needing it. Just natural ventilation. I wasn't going to need it from an AC point of view. In the winter months, it's actually on a smart thermostat. So it tends to go off kind of right in the early, like 6 o'clock prior to my getting up. And things are also pretty well insulated. One of the things actually that's behind the walls and in the ceiling is a bat wool insulation. So both for acoustic purposes as well as for thermal purposes. And it's wool, it's natural. There's no need to be going with fiber. Probably the electrical, being able to have the induction cooktop was. So the building was built originally with a gas system. It's gas heated, and but all of the cooktops were gas. And I didn't grow up with gas. I don't like gas. It's not healthy. And I wanted an induction cooktop. So I went through the whole process of getting an electrical engineer to do a survey of the current electrical loads of my unit. And the reality is that now we use less power than buildings 60 years ago when this was built. So because of LED lighting, it's a lower draw. I took out the electric heaters in the bathrooms, so that was a big draw. The main source of the main power draw is my induction cooktop and the electric oven. So the unit is all electric, which goes along with Santa Monica's requirements for new construction. I consider this my little mini new construction, even though it's in an existing building. So, and I wanted to do this above board. So I was talking with the building engineer and the HOA. The electrical engineer I hired, he tapped into the panel to get a reading over 3 days of how much power all of the units on this floor were using. So not because the intent was needed to make sure that the electrical panel on this floor, the electrical closet, wasn't going to be overloaded. It definitely was a process. The 23 kept me from being able to submit to the HOA any earlier, but it was well worth it. That was an interesting process. Definitely learned. I've been around all the types of things, but doing it at the scale of a residential unit was interesting.